Hello everyone, I am the plane shifter phasing to the universe of the Talos Principle. I've finished 25% of the main game, I guess. Four sides of the pyramid? Makes sense. Of course I still have to unlock a few stuff. And yeah, we stopped as we were about to go back to the VTOL. Because stuffs and things are about to happen. Hello, Piero. I may have last saved this way too far from the pod. Unlucky, we'll run across something you haven't seen. There you go. Ooh, the statue is visible from here. I need to just sightsee more. You know, I'm gonna go with the canonical explanation that solar rays might mess up my robot's optics. Done. I solved the problem of the artifacting. It's canon now.
I finished my analysis of the particle clouds. At first I thought they might be some kind of nanotechnology, but I was wrong. It's a lot worse than that. What we're looking at is a completely unknown type and state of matter. Completely inexplicable within our understanding of physics. Created and manipulated by someone.
Fascinating.
Fascinating indeed. I was totally expecting nanotechnology as well. Before I go to the VTOL, I'm just gonna drop off the stars. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3. times 8, 24. There are 24 of them. Okay. The 3 laser beams, one for each color. Oh, wrong thing. Did the Vital show up here? No? Huh. Regardless, it is visible from here. There.
Come on, people, get on board. We haven't got all day.
You sure?
Yakut, take us in.
Aye, aye, sir.
Have any of you ever read an ancient writer called Ian Banks? I guess not. He postulated the concept of the outside context problem. That's when a society encounters something so advanced, so different, that they simply could not have conceived of it. That's what this is. This whole place is one giant outside context problem. And we're headed right into it.
Yeah, let's get inside the context. Enter the megastructure.
I think I can set down over there. Should I?
Please do. I can't wait to get a closer look.
Setting down.
Okay, everyone. We need to explore as much as we can, separately if need be, but stay in touch. Record anything interesting you find, and pay special attention to any clues as to who built this place and why.
The schematics we found in that lab were extremely incomplete. So if you can find any more of those, that would be great.
I think someone should stay at the VTOL just in case.
I volunteer you. See you later, Al.
I think all is okay with that. Why are there engravings of circuit boards? Do you open? No? What are you? Thing seems a bit broken down here. Feels like I just got to the back room of Aperture Science. All the motifs are very robot. Printed circuit boards are a thing, but did someone actually test if you can engrave too? Yeah. But why engrave it on stone? I understand how circuit boards actually work. And it doesn't involve stone or chiseling. That... Oh, those are floating. Cube and the sphere. According to the last lab, the next thing we are gonna encounter is anti-gravity stuff. Or gravity manipulation stuff. To make an out of place artifact. Probably searching for more blueprints. That place screams the place to go. That's why I'm going everywhere else. Sphinx. Yeah, I read a bit about the Sphinx, and it's not just Egyptian. The Greeks also had a Sphinx that, and this is the Greek Sphinx. Of course, we have seen her quite a bunch of time. On that Wikipedia article, I didn't see much actual new information. If I remember correctly, you can check the occupied terminals on the way back. That makes sense. And here's Pandora. No, we're missing Prometheus in this. But isn't Egypt's culture older? Could just be plagiarized concept. That happens a lot in mythology. I found something. Chernyshevsky 5. Author Arkady Chernyshevsky on loyalty. From Arkady Chernyshevsky in Our Likeness, essays on humankind reaching adulthood. What I propose then is that we are not born as entirely free agents, responsible only for ourselves. The very core of what we are, or sentience, separates us from and elevates us above the animal kingdom. As I have argued, this is not a matter of arrogance, but of responsibility. However, this blessing also demands something else from us, something more personal than responsibility, and that is loyalty. Our ancestors, less atomized than we are, experienced a crude version of this loyalty, swearing allegiance to tribes, races, nations, and other such semi-fictional concepts. This fragmented understanding was easily exploited and led to many conflicts. We can condemn them for that, or we can choose to believe these were necessary historical steps toward our growth. But above all, we must stop indulging in such childlike behavior. Our species can no longer afford to believe in Mother Russia or Uncle Sam. Neither, however, can we afford to indulge in the adolescent rebel misanthropy, rejecting the many gifts that we have been lucky enough to receive, not from above, but from the history of our species. To put it simple, each of us owes a burden of loyalty to humanity itself, to the human project across time and space. This is not a minor matter, or some abstract issue for philosophers. It's a profound and significant part of every human life. It is a universal source of meaning and insight that can bind us together and set us on a path for a brighter future. And it is also a division, a line that must held against those who preach the gospel of self-annihilation. We ignore it at our peril. I think it missed a B layer here. A line that must be held against those who preach the gospel of self-annihilation. Chernyshevsky, like Drennan, stood by his belief to the bitter end. Without him, the archive would not exist. As we owe humanity our loyalty, so we owe a more personal debt to those individuals who gave everything for our story to continue. This is the guy that created the library that Newton was managing. Ah, there's Prometheus.
Hold on a second, 1K. I think I can find an override for that door.
Maybe after that, you can help me with this elevator?
One problem at a time. What's going on with these file structures? Okay, door should be opening. Now, about the elevator.
Actually, the elevator's fine.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. No idea where I am, but it's working.
Don't go too far. Try to circle back.
On it.
I think I'm going too far. No, hopefully it's not just one way. Open. Thank you. There's a lot of stuff going on in this place. Who are you supposed to be? What are you holding? Is this supposed to be the planet? This box has the electronic markings. Okay, I think Python went there. Not Byron, the other guy.
Isn't this an incredible space? Look at it all, it's beautiful.
I'm not sure I see it. Yeah, I agree.
That's good. That's excellent. I find that a lot of people these days can't see the beauty in things created by human hand. They can look at an ant colony or a coral reef and be impressed, but if it was made by humans, they just don't see it. It's good to be humble as an individual, but we have to be careful not to lose track of our accomplishments as a species. If we're impressed by the complex patterns produced by animals, then this should be breathtaking.
I don't disagree. This place is impressive. I'm not sure if I was beautiful as a descriptor, but it's definitely something that really catches your attention. Disagree, brutalist as hell. I mean, it has its moments, right? Like this. And the little, this little area here with the statues and stuff. I was mostly thinking of those. Let's go through that door. I think we've seen all that we could see here. All the symbols are also super intriguing. Gotta go, I pull it off a pretty surreal animation better. Hearing an electrical noise of sorts. Hello there. Is this it? Ooh, careful now. It continues through here. Hi, Melville. Or Melville? No. It's Yakut.
Hey, 1K, can we talk for a second?
Sure.
That whole thing with the elevator just gave me the creeps.
Sure, what's up?
When we first arrived here, I was really excited. It's such a huge place. The technology is so advanced. If we figure out what it all means, we could really change the future of New Jerusalem. The mayor says we have to avoid repeating the mistakes our ancestors made, to stay humble, to not reach too far. And that sounds very abstract, but I've seen the ancient cities. I've seen how much they built, how much they grew, how far they fell. So I've been thinking, what if all this sets us on the same path? What if this is too much power for anyone to control?
You're right, this place could be dangerous, but you need to understand it. I think it's more complex than that. Power isn't necessarily good or bad, that's true. But he's talking about control and losing control. I don't think what went wrong with our ancestor was too much power. Honestly, I think it's too early to tell. I think your original impulse was correct. New Jerusalem needs technology. The mayor premise is wrong. He's assuming history can only develop in one way. You know, I agree with this statement. I don't think that what went wrong with our ancestors was too much power, but the mismanagement of the power. Let's see what I'm gonna say when I click this.
Then what do you think it was?
It was actually a lack of power to more control over their biology. They could have survived. That is true, but not what I think. They got their priorities wrong. If they had properly invested in medicine before the virus, they could have survived. It was a mix of the virus and climate change. They weren't careful about the side effects of their growth, otherwise the virus would never have been released. That's more like what I want to answer. Most of them want to do things differently, but their political systems wouldn't let them. That's also true. It was just by luck, a confluence of bad things happened all at once. They almost made it. It wasn't just that. It doesn't matter what it was. We're not them. Okay. They weren't careful about the side effects of growth. That's true. and most often wanted to do things differently, but their political systems wouldn't let them. That's also true. The extinction in this lore wasn't even something strictly 100% humanity's fault. Yeah, global warming just accidentally released a random virus in the Arctic. That's true. I'm aware. It could have been a giant alien robots in the Arctic, and it could be the same. That's true. The thing is that I don't think that just investing in medicine before the virus was released would has really solved the problem, because the virus was unknown. And that's always problematic. Like the total extinction through a virus, I think it's a bit. I need to suspend my disbelief to go around with this story, because I don't think it would happen through a virus. Some of even if it ravaged us, some of us would be immune and survive. Just naturally immune. I'm gonna go with this. They weren't careful about the side effect of growth. Yeah. There's also random super isolated nations and whatnot. That's true. That's another thing.
But that's exactly what the mayor thinks. Their obsession with growth damaged the planet, and that's what killed them.
It didn't kill them. They're still here in us because Alexander Dremen believed in civilization technology. But it's not the growth itself that is the problem. It's how you grow. Yeah. There's ways of controlling those side effects. They allow us to use them, but that doesn't mean we have to. Doesn't matter what we have to do. That's where I'm going with this. There were ways of controlling those side effects. We failed to use them. But that doesn't mean we have to.
You're right. Sometimes I just get too pessimistic. We do have choices to make. That was the whole point of the simulation. Thanks for talking to me, 1K. I know we're in the middle of something, but I kind of needed that.
All right. Glad you could clear your head a little bit. Do I have anything going on here? Nothing new, just research from Melville. Imagine an ant trying to make sense of a nuclear power plant, an armadillo trying to explain disco music. You get my drift. These particle clouds contradict every known laws of physics. What really is shocking here isn't that we are seeing a new and powerful technology. It's what it implies about our grasp of physics. A lot of what we thought we knew must be wrong or incomplete in some fundamental level. A humbling realization. I don't like it. I find it exciting. Heck, if someone discovers that some fundamental thing about our understanding of physics is wrong, that's a heck of a day. And this thing's floating. And it's not like it didn't happen before. Like, freaking, quantum physics was something that completely rewrote our understanding of physics. Not completely, but like it was something. That's a gate. And we still don't have a full grasp of quantum mechanics, so yeah.
Looks like another set of puzzles. Same pattern, 1 gate, 3 receivers. Like some sort of fractal symmetry.
There are more gates here. Yeah, good. Hi. Can we place stuff already? Yes. There are puzzles over there. Oh, why did you... Oh, come on. Just looking around. I should have finished. I should have stepped. To the other side. Activate 3 beams. Okay. I see the receivers. Boy, this place is pretty big. Do I have a set of the terminals for each of these places? I guess I do. And then there is a connection over there. Looks like this dude is ascending. The Gate of Ascension. An owl. Symbol of knowledge. Huh. One thing against the whole world is a simulation theory is that you don't get much instances of physics simulations oversimplifying tiny details to save on operating resources. So physics applies to everything the same, and there isn't big exceptions, and it's not adding up. The only big exception is the particle clouds. What are these guys holding? Never stop it to actually look. It's like a box, coin. Is that even a coin? Puzzle, and I imagine the objective is to get a beam over there. That is a puzzle. I thought I saw one of those purple matter blocking things. Ah, okay, that is green. Right. I mean, more like going against the whole real world is a simulation theory. There's not really observable instances where something just goes weird with a simulation, like running the world in lower FPS past a certain distance. That is true. Okay, there's a puzzle here, and then there's more stuff over there. Hole makers. Okay. There we go. With the sheer size of the universe and needing to apply physics simulations onto every dust particle, then it really skews the increasingly crazy theories like the words of simulation in a simulation. That is true. I wonder if I'll need any of those things. Here's the big cannon. Why you noise? Lever. Boy, this thing is huge. It's just like the ones I found on the towers, on the puzzles outside. But they never stop to look at the thing.
Good job, 1K.
It wasn't that complicated. If I remove one of these things, that thing shuts up. So yeah, I cannot move this puzzle pieces over there. Okay, and then there is the split. And the blue cannon is over there. Is this supposed to be Pandora's box? That's the red cannon.
I wonder how far down this goes.
I'm not gonna measure. And then I can go down there. Okay. Oh, that's canon. There is no name for these puzzles. Huh. And no Prometheus bypasses. Okay, so blue, and that's one of those changer things. The source is here, and it's also hitting that guy over there that I cannot take out. Yeah. Ooh, a safety ladder in case of screw-ups. Okay. And I also cannot get you out of this area. Still not entirely sure where is my objective. Okay, I need a blue line here. But this guy needs to remain red. And this guy is stuck there. You are just a connector. This is red, but I believe the beams are going to conflict. No? Is it just me, or are these puzzles a bit too easy? Yeah, the guy's in the box, and the solution was just don't touch this whole contraption.
Well done.
Was it well done though? Because it was so simple.
This is madness. Even the walls are bursting with power.
I agree. When the walls need power, it may be too much. Or are they generating power? If they are generating power, that might be interesting. How do the walls generate power though? Oh, I ended up here. which I believe is part of the puzzle. Or the entrance to the puzzle. Interesting. Oh. Okay. Confusing, this one. Did you ever see Fate the Unholy Trinity on Steam? Probably something you should have brought up on some Hyperspace episode if it wasn't too bustling laughing at the Bible sword. It looks quite a part of the horror game around satanic scare, and most of us just seeing random out of context memes carried around. I should take a look. This is exactly what I was doing before. I cannot figure this one out. I don't even need to. I'm here. I'm just doing this because I want to. There. Oh, but stuffs and things. Maybe I needed to. There's an RGB converter, a connector, and a beam. And there's a green stuff here, which, yeah, I needed that stuff. Okay. This is red. This is green. That's where the RGB thing goes. So connector and blue. So let's just start here. Some red stuffs. Can I? Yeah. This is gonna get in the way of the. It's totally gonna cross. But it's open. Let's see what we can do. This is a mess. Okay. There's something with the positioning of the red beam that is wrong. Why did they need to make this thing so windy? Maybe it's this positioning that is wrong. I found it. I just need to put the blue beam in the correct place. There. Where am I going? Ah, there's the camera. There's the lever. Oh. Those are like giant connectors.
The gate's open. 1K if you want to. Go ahead. I'll finish up scanning this.
Whew. Okay.
I keep getting locked out of parts of the system. I think I've tracked down some more schematics, though. Let's see. This might do something. Or not.
Okay. Leave it to 1K professional at downloading every virus from the terminals. Yes. It's this game version of drinking every potion. Why? Because I can. What is... Oh, it's just a... What's with the weird noises? I could probably jump the gap, but I'm afraid. That sounded like breath. Hello, Arya. I'm exploring you. Stop being creepy, Arya. I just want to take a look around. This part of natural law isn't retained. Neither is that part. Should a country have laws to keep minimum distance between the cleaning agent and the colorful soda aisles in the supermarkets? You know, that's a deep question with several repercussions, but the answer is yes. That's an island. You're not gonna disappear below my feet, are you? What is natural thing here? Huh. I'm gonna drink some water. We don't want to leave it having faith in people's common sense, but after that cooking chicken is cough syrup that went viral on TikTok, yeah, you know someone is bound to uncritically replicate that. And the freaking tide part thing. This Norma thing is a virus. A 5358? Yeah, okay. Let's check first the question. Author Miranda, I have a question. From Miranda. I was doing some reading while the last trial was running and I came across something I don't understand. There are a lot of references to ancient humans feeling that science is boring. To me, everything we're studying is mind-bending incredible, whether it's quark gluon deconfinement or neutrino-antineutrino oscillations. We went straight into Star Trek technobabble here. Or even some incredibly basic, like the properties of light. Properties of light, incredibly basic. Yeah, okay. I understand why our ancestors cared about art, why a beautifully crafted story or poem was moving to them, but how could they not see that everything that surrounds us is just as incredible? Studying science is like studying the most incredible machine ever created, a machine designed to build words and tell stories. How could they not see that? I'm sure there's a good explanation, but I don't get it, Miranda. Because people are different. And there's a lot of people that definitely saw that. But then you had Numberphile in love with every concept of math way back in the ancient Greek. Yes. And they still exist today. And then also people who hate accounting basically everywhere. Alright, let's break stuff. I've done 250%.
Mother, what are you thinking about, Mother?
The Talos Principle. You see, it has two applications.
Mother.
One is to the self. It means facing the truth even if it frightens us. Understanding that living beings are machines and we can't afford to lie to ourselves. But that's just the beginning. The second application is to the world. This one seems easier at first. It's less difficult to understand that the universe is a machine, governed by laws.
So we and the universe are the same?
No, and that's the crucial part. We are conscious. Consciousness is rare, unlikely, but it's also the foundation of everything else. Without us, there can be no meaning. Without someone to perceive it, the beauty of the universe is pointless. But that shouldn't make us arrogant. No, in fact, it means we carry a tremendous responsibility. We are the light of the cosmos. And if we go out, there will be nothing but a cold, dark machine.
Actitude, the human form divine.
Athena. The founder was here?
She could still be here. What if this is why she left, to build all this? We have to look for her.
I'm reading some pretty big energy spikes. I think we better scramble.
But she could be right here, right behind the next door. I could turn around a corner and walk right into her.
If she's really here, she'll still be here when we come back. But right now, safety needs to come first. Let's go, Byron.
You're... Oh. Damn you, but you're right. Heading back.
Or the VTOL. Alright. Lift tracer to deer, a profoundly stupid creature, yeah. So Athena built Miranda somehow. After all, Miranda was calling her mother.
Was that really the founder?
I think so.
It was her. For years, I've wondered what happened to her, why she left, where she went, why she didn't tell me.
If the answers are here, I promise you we'll find them. We just have to be careful. Follow protocol.
It's kind of personal for Byron now that I think of it. Okay, there's this place and the door.
I still can't believe the founder built this place. Has she been here the whole time?
We don't know that she actually built it. All we know for sure is that she was here at some point.
Of course she built this. Who else would have the kind of vision necessary to accomplish something like this? The question is why? And why like this? Why recreate all these aspects of the simulation? What is she trying to tell us?
It does seem like it might be a test. I can't imagine any other explanation. But why is it so broken? Or does it just appear to be broken so that we have to learn how to fix it? I hate this.
Well, I know one thing for sure. Everyone in New Jerusalem is gonna go absolutely nuts.
Listen, Melville, you hate everything. Rust. Alfred Tennyson. Read your 30 texts in terminal. Lord of the Files. Nice. Name Ulysses. Alfred Tennyson. Excerpt F5358. How do it is to pause, to make an end, to rust unburnished, not to shine in use. As though to breath were life, life piled on life, were all too little, and enough one to me. Little remains, but every hour is saved. From that eternal silence, something more, a bringer of new things, of inviolate where, for some 3 suns to store and hoard myself. And this great spirit yearning in desire, to follow knowledge like sinking star, beyond the utmost bound of human thought. Did I see this before? Ah, yes, I did. It's not that she didn't have to build like at least 12 other robots herself. That's true. But according to the story, she wasn't the only one that woke up from the system itself. There were other, the 3 first ones just woke up from the system.
All right, take us back to base camp, Yakut.
Yes, sir. I'm getting some new readings. Looks like 2 of the northern sites are lighting up.
I think that may have been me. I suspect the puzzles are somehow tied to the transport system, like we're supposed to solve them in a particular order.
Objective is getting back into the megastructure. 1K, I want you on puzzles. You seem to have a knack for them. But the rest of us can't neglect our secondary objectives of studying this island and understanding this technology.
Indeed, you do want me on puzzles because I'm completely useless for anything else. Don't try to get me into quantum mechanics here. Let's see, what do we have now? Puzzles and tripping every tripwire and virus. That's true. The virus is very important. Okay, there's North 1, and I think North 2 is also available. Yeah. Flooded Valley. Desolate Island. Grasslands Ring. Wood. Wooded Plateau. Eastern Wetlands. Alright, no need to not go in order. Remote Rock Island. Alright.
You should be headed towards an island off the northern coast. The terrain's pretty rough, so be careful.
The island has another island attached to it.
Yes, it has several, actually.
How irritating.
What?
Melville, do you have any other comment? Ooh. Okay. Screw this, must build bridges to island. Okay. Am I already at the puzzle? Holy crap, I barely arrived. Oh. It's 3. Yeah, that's 1. 3, 2. This place looks a lot more structured. Literally, it's a whole structure. Oh, we can get outside over there. And here. Holy crap, seriously? It's not even a puzzle, just get the stuff and fill it in. When did you get here? Alcatraz?
What can I do for you, 1K?
Did you know the founder?
I sure did. Not as well as Byron, but she was still around when I was born. I remember she came and talked to me after New Alexandria, told me how sorry she was. I never blamed her for that. It wasn't her responsibility.
What was New Jerusalem like when you were born?
A lot busier than it is now. My most defining memory is that it was extremely noisy, because something was always being built. Got annoying after a while.
Tell me about New Alexandria.
For some reason, we'd convinced ourselves that New Jerusalem wasn't enough, that we needed another city. We thought it would be easier the second time around. All it takes is a little bit of arrogance and a little bit of ignorance, and people die.
Yeah, thanks. This is my favorite zone when it opens up, but it's way too much legwork to get around. Yeah, alright. Let's not get too far away. Let's go back and solve puzzle 1. Hello there. Of course. This looks like one of those things I need to chase. Yeah, let's not bother with that right now. But it's good to know that it's so close to the entrance. Mind-body dualism. Oh my goodness. Well, I guess this is the real-life version of the...
What the?
What indeed. Real-life version of the... Boy, why can the recorder? I'm doing this so wrong. I can't telepathically transport myself from behind bars. Oh. Or maybe I can. I'm glad I'm doing this in order. Blueberries, bars maybe. Yeah, bars don't. But yeah, I haven't seen these blue barriers from this place. Purple does not, glass probably not either. Social media. The founder Megathread. Please keep discussion of the alleged presence of the founder at the site of the megastructure confined to this thread. From Jeremy. To the Bistros. I'm still in shock. I wasn't even sure the founder was still alive. Obvious. Of course she is, and now that we have reached completion day, she has sent us her secret messengers. Jackass, it could still be aliens pretending to be the founder. Oh, come on! Zagoran, it's not aliens, and if Prometheus and Pandora are her secret messengers, why has one apparently chained the other? Tekla, the day of her return is imminent. Aurinia. So now you agree that Byron was right to want an expedition? In fact, it was the founder's will all along. And when you said it would be wrong to even consider going to the islands, you were acting against the founder? Tekla, your word games aren't going to help you when the founder returns, Aurinia. Oh boy. Tekla is insufferable, yeah. Yeah, it was wonderful to hear Tenno's voice again, but with all the emotion inherent in this matter, we should be careful not to get swept away. We don't really understand anything yet. Sculler, I can't help but wonder, if Miran is her doctor, was Athena trying to start a new civilization? Did she abandon New Jerusalem? It's conceivable. She was always a leader. Maybe she just wanted to experience something private. She would never abandon New Jerusalem. What should I say? I don't think she abandoned New Jerusalem. But I also don't think she would never abandon New Jerusalem. These are two extremes. I'm gonna literally stay in the middle. She was always a leader. Maybe she just wanted to experience something private. Yeah, a valid point. She had enormous responsibilities from the very beginning. And while we were a family, she had too many burdens to ever have a private life of her own. Dosicles, I understand your point, but why leave Cornelius behind then? Radamni, that's none of her business. Dosicles, fair enough. Anything going on anywhere else? No. Okay. Research. Inside the megastructure. From the degree to which vegetation seems to have spread, I would guess the megastructure has been abandoned for a while. Although the combination of moisture and heat does create an ideal environment for plant growth, that makes it harder to be sure. What makes it harder to be sure is that some plants have clearly been placed for decorative purposes. So a lot of what we're seeing may have spread from there rather than coming in from the outside. It's surprisingly beautiful, but also kind of creepy. Agreed. Where's my body? My body's in there. Can I take my body out? Okay, so purple stuffs block the transfer as well. Okay. But how would the dirt spread in a mostly concrete building? That's a good question. I was promised gravity shenanigans, not multi-body shenanigans, but you know what? Whatever. Leg up. Oh boy. Where did I? I did this wrong. Okay. That was a thing.
Any further insights on the particle clouds, Melville?
To be honest with you, Byron, I feel like a caveman trying to study Bose-Einstein condensate. I'm seeing unknown particles whose every property violates the laws of physics, apparently capable of being controlled and recombined into just about anything. It's ridiculous.
Maybe someone in New Jerusalem can figure it out.
Sure, just give them another 1,000 years.
Yeah. The weird thing about the perfect number of people being 1,000 is that despite the 30 or so dead in the explosion, there is also ones like Athena and Rick Tracer's crew who just book it off somewhere. Yeah. I guess there is not actually a 1,000 of us. Dual stream. It's not even 100 people, guys. It's not even 1,000 people, guys. Yeah. Stream. Bing, bing. Did it work? Kinda. You can come here, take control, and come here. There we go. Hey, Melville.
I've been watching you solve these puzzles, and this body replication tech is incredible. It just casually blows up the very foundations of our society.
You're right, this is revolutionary. What do you mean?
Do you have any idea how hard it is to make more of us? We're not like a toaster. You don't just weld together a couple of wires and a motherboard and call it a day. Not to mention how hard it is to even find some of the materials. And this thing just, poof, new human.
But the goal was to stop at 1,000, wasn't it?
It was. Or was it? And even if it was, sorry to be heretical, but does it matter? If we can figure out how this works, we can finally, easily create more people. We can grow. We can expand. We can build a real civilization. Isn't that worth pursuing?
I think it is. It's our cosmic duty to spread consciousness. Maybe there is some point where there's enough people, but this is not it. I kind of agree with this statement. Maybe there are legitimate reasons to limit the population. This is very dangerous. We decide to limit ourselves for a reason. I don't really have an opinion about this. Maybe there is some point where there is enough people, but this is not it.
Look, yes. Large amounts of people can cause problems. But even the problems they cause are interesting. Because without people, the world is boring. I'm not even saying there isn't some planetary limit. But I've done the maths. It's in the high billions, not a measly 1,000. Anyway, we all need to think about what this means. Glad you and I are more or less on the same page.
All right, get back to work. And I saw Byron going over there. New interface available. Where is Byron? Lawson.
This body replication technology is proof of just how vital this expedition is. We may not know how it works and what its limitations are, but the technology itself isn't even what really matters. What matters is to expand our imagination, to realize that other futures are possible. I'm glad you see it that way too, 1K. After all, the world is better with you in it, isn't it?
Indeed. Hi, Melville, you have more to say?
Yes?
Whoa, you have a lot to say. Okay. Did you ever meet the founder?
Of course I did. She and Cornelius were both there when I was born. Neath was just starting to take over back then, and they were still showing her the ropes.
What is the founder like?
Busy. There was always another problem to solve. Did you know that she never upgraded her body? Always prioritized everyone else. That's the kind of work ethic I wish more people had.
I agree, but there also needs to be space for other things in life. I think the obsession with work becomes self-destructive at some point. Yeah, I kind of think that might have been the case. I'm gonna go with this. I think the obsession with work becomes self-destructive at some point.
I disagree. At least when it comes to myself. For me, living is doing.
Right. Do you ever crave companionship?
I've never felt the need for a partner as such. I've met a lot of people who do. Athena and Cornelius, Atal and Damien, Sarabai and Hypatia. But that's not really for me. So far, at least. But I do have social needs like anyone. What I like is a pleasant buzz of humanity. Not too close, not too far. Something I can be part of without having it get in my face all the time.
Interesting. Could these visions affect my mind?
The data stream overloads? Yes, they could. There are safeguards to prevent that from happening. But these aren't exactly carefully controlled circumstances. It's hard to predict. Our brains are absurdly complicated, which is why it's so hard to make more of us.
Why do you think the founder left New Jerusalem?
Maybe she just got sick of things breaking all the time.
What exactly can these particles clouds do?
As far as I can tell, anything, which is insane.
do you feel about Mary's policy? What do you think about Miranda?
She's so innocent and full of wonder, it should make me want to retch, metaphorically speaking. But I'll admit, she's sort of charming.
How do you feel about Mayor Herman's policies?
I used to think it was the only safe way forward. Keep things simple and under control. Now I'm not so sure that ever made sense.
Thank you. She got back to work. Oh, here's Alcatraz.
Hello, 1K.
What do you think about the body replication tech?
It seems like something that could very quickly get out of control.
That's
You know
true.
that saying about good intentions? If we can solve problems by just making more people, how long before people just become a problem-solving tool?
Interesting. That's all. Thank you. Alright. Is that puzzle 1? That's puzzle 1. I need to find puzzle 4. There's a point. If you make too much people, the fact that there is too much people will become a problem. Puzzle 4 over there. Oh, there was things on the research. Minds and bodies. The founder appears to have developed technology that prints new bodies using those particle clouds we're already familiar with. These bodies come with a protocol for instantly transferring the user's mind. I cannot sufficiently underline how mad this is. The implications would be breathtaking if we breathed. There seems to be a number of safeguards. So far I've not been able to get the stack to work outside puzzles. I did manage to sort of make sense of the mind transfer protocol, however, and I am uploading all the data I've collected. It will need to be studied extensively before it can be used, but I can think of a lot of potential applications. What really grinds my gears though is how casually it's all deployed. It takes ages to make a new body, and there's a whole bunch of them, doing no more than holding up platforms or standing on pressure plates. Is this all a joke? I can totally understand her point here. Oh, there's a point of interest right there. High ground. Okay. There are two me's here. Where is the thing? Where is it? Over there? Okay. Okay. Maybe I need to put this here, just in case. No, I do not. I think my original is way back in another puzzle already. Oh, you should not be here. You should totally be here. Can you take control view? Bring you here. Well, that is something. I made a tower of me. Body replications. Doziclus. The technology discovered by the expedition changes everything. Every argument about how hard it is to get access to the resources necessary to create more of us goes out the window. We can create more people. 1K doesn't have to be the last. And it would be easy. Are we really going to give up just because of the goal? I think Doziclus is the guy that was feeling lonely when I was at the museum. Elwin. Energy doesn't just come from nowhere. We have no idea what the real cost behind this technology is. Obvious. Besides, the goal is an ideal, not just a limit we run into by accident. It's the will of the founder. Zagaran. Yeah, right. Elwin. It's not necessary to share personal belief in the founder to understand the value of the goal. It's clear to all but the most radical that humanity needs limits, for its own sake and for the sake of the planet. Damien. You say that as if it was self-evident. It's not. You're smuggling a whole host of misanthropic ideas into the conversation under the disguise of reasonableness. Your premises are completely rotten, Elwin. I believe the results of human history speaks for themselves, and I find shocking that anyone would disagree with something so obvious. Zagaran. Shocking that anyone would value human beings and think that maybe your ancestors could solve their problems using their brains instead of preaching misery for all. That maybe there is some beeping point in blaming other factors beyond technology and growth, like, I don't know, people in positions of authority preaching their self-important beeping morality instead of trying to solve ordinary people's problems. Authority? I'm just an academic. Damien. That is completely disingenuous and you know it. Your clique has the mayor's ear. Owen, clique? I assure you there is no such thing. Jeremy, this conversation is getting out of hand. If you can behave, I'm shooting this thread down. Reinventing the internet argument, yeah. These conversations are necessary, they should not be banned. This conversation is irritating, but people should be allowed to, as a matter of principle. It would be best to close the stand until everybody comes down. Just take it to private. This conversation is irritating, but should be allowed as a matter of principle. This conversation is necessary. Yeah, this conversation is necessary. They should not be banned. Thank you, 1K. New Jerusalem is a democracy, and without free speech, democracy is a sham. Jeremy, a lovely sentiment, but you should try moderating this forum and see what it is like. If ever conversation is allowed to explode, instability is guaranteed. You have a set of reasonable limits on behavior. Thread closed. Okay. Let's do the puzzle. It's kind of funny. I wonder what Melville has to say about this. I love the things to do after recreating civilization. One of the first things to do was reinvent Reddit. Yeah. 5 is over there. What's up here? Maybe a lost puzzle? Probably a lost puzzle. Yeah. Passing through. There's a platform over there. Box. How do I open this? Oh, hello there. The name's passing through. Passing through. Oh, okay. Passing through what? Maybe this. No. I'm probably just making it hard on myself for no reason. Interesting.
Clever.
Thank you, Melville. Yakut, spectacular. Spectacular. I don't understand what possible function this structure could have, but it's really, really impressive. Hold on, could that be its function? Just to be impressive? I mean, yeah? Alright. I want to see if I can get to that peninsula. Is that the thing I saw? That caught my interest from up there. Can I even get there? Maybe if I'm careful. There's a question mark over there. Oh, it's a terminal. And a few other doodads. Those things. Lift riser. Okay.
As we continue exploring the cold northern reaches of the island, the contrast between the harshness of this place and the softness of New Jerusalem becomes more and more pronounced. There is a kind of madness in what we are doing, going to a place that is so hostile to our existence. That does not mean there is nothing to love here. There is, in fact, a great beauty, but it is a hateful beauty. A beauty you can only love because there are places that are not like this. And yet, it is precisely this hateful beauty that the people of New Jerusalem fail to see, and so cannot understand their own blessings.
He uses really strange words. Why hateful? I kind of understand his point, but why use the word hateful? The try living in the woods and see how you can do without toilet paper argument. Yeah. I wouldn't say try living here, but more try seeing this place. Appreciating its existence, I think is what he means more. People of New Jerusalem can be way too confined to the city. The gift. Oh, hi. What? Ah. Yeah, it was a bit too easy. I can exit if I drop down here, but I guess I really need to come through here. There, huh? Oh, it should not have. Okay. I think I know what you want me to do. Not quite. Cannot pick it up. Can I do it like this though? Okay, I freed the block. Yeah. Why I'm overthinking this? I just need to do this. Done. Isn't this overcomplicated?
I can't
everything?
imagine spending years in such a desolate place. For what? Science? Enlightenment? I'd much rather be back home in New Jerusalem.
I think it's beautiful in its own way. But I don't understand how our ancestors could survive here. They were so fragile. Imagine getting stuck out here in the cold. I wonder if there are wolves.
It's kind of a miracle biological humans lasted as long as they did.
We were freaking resilient. Never underestimate the power of a coat. Ah, the rail. There's a dialogue like near the sea somewhere. Dialogue line near the sea somewhere.
There's an old saying about how, in the end, the sea will claim everything. I have no doubt that this is true. In the long history of the human species, entire regions have disappeared under the waves. Places like Beringia and Doggerland still echo in our cultural memories. But we shouldn't forget that life began in the sea. We are the children of the sea. And it's not through floods and ruin that the sea will claim everything, but through us.
That's an interesting line. That's a really interesting line. Yeah. Oh yeah, have you tried swimming? I have. I just break. I am at puzzle number 6, right? Yeah. Where's the path? Okay. Give me one of these things. Nice. Skyrim up a cliff. Can I go inside the puzzle from here? Ah, no. Let me type to... Who are you? Yakad. What? You don't want to talk to me? Oh, okay.
Miranda is the founder's daughter. It's still kind of blowing my mind. She came all the way out here, left everything she had behind, and created a new life. Why do you think she did that?
Because creating a new life is beautiful, to help her with her secret project. Perhaps she was lonely. You know, if there was an all of the above, I would go for it. Because creating a new life is beautiful, let's go with that. Not everything needs to be about the project or loneliness.
Miranda is certainly amazing, at least from what she sounds like. I can imagine that it must feel very special to be her parent. On the other hand, we're not like ancient humans. We're not born as babies. Would you have preferred to have a family?
No, I prefer this for myself. Some guidance would have been nice. Byron sort of took me under his wing. No, I prefer this for myself.
See? Our way does have its advantages.
Wanted to ask you about something else. How are you feeling?
I'm not sure, to be honest. This is all so surreal. Walking around here is so peaceful, but it's also, I don't know. One moment I feel inspired, the next, kind of creeped out.
Was the northern part of the island mostly underwater?
Our ancestors relied heavily on fossil fuels for energy generation, which released a lot of carbon dioxide. This caused the atmosphere to trap more heat, which changed the planet's overall climate. The effect continued even after they were gone, and these low-lying areas were flooded. I've seen a Lot of places like that.
Did you ever meet the founder?
No, I never did. I would have loved to.
Have you changed your mind about trying some puzzles?
Nope.
Nice. What did you make of the megastructure interior?
You know, people throw around the word awesome a lot. I probably do it too, but I think what we saw in there is the proper meaning of the word.
Fuel yourself with awe? Yeah. Thank you. We're going in the right direction. No. Okay. There's so inspiring for that. Yeah. Weird how no one uses awesome in that context. Yeah. Another terminal. Alright. Whoa, that's a lot. That's a lot of reading. On Cornelius. Author error. From the personal reminiscences of Mitko 166. There are some people whose true importance you just don't notice at first. People who quietly hold things together without making a big deal of it. That's what Cornelius was, always by Athena's side. He calmly and carefully helped us all stay on track, reminding us of our shared humanity and the values that had brought us just this far. I cannot imagine how painful it must have been when Athena left him behind, when he went on his so-called research expedition. Most people thought he went looking for her. To be honest, I thought he might never come back, and I was surprised when he finally did. I still don't understand how she could have leave him. They seemed to love each other so deeply. After he returned, Cornelius was different. He founded the Museum of the Simulation and very rarely left its premises. The archives scholars doted on him, but he walled himself off, becoming almost as much as a recluse as Eustathius. And only then did I slowly understand how much the city had lost. Blake. Author William Blake, name 5358. God appears and God is light, to those poor souls who dwell in night, but those a human form display, to those who dwell in realms of day. Prime Mover. Author Eustathius, the Prime Mover. Excerpted from the Considerations of Eustathius, Jew. While it's hard from our vantage point to fully believe in any of the ancient religions, I must admit that I have come to believe in the existence of a prime mover. Not a designer as such, certainly not an interventionist god, but some force that set the universe itself in motion. I do not know if it is possible for us to ever truly understand this being, since it must be, by definition, exists outside of our understanding of reality, but I do believe that it exists. Does it look upon us with love? Are we entertainment, perhaps? Does it preserve some memory of us when we die? All of this I cannot answer. But I do not disbelieve those who honestly speak of having experienced some manner of brief communion with this entity. It's simply too common an experience in human history to easily discount. As the motion of the universe proceeds from the Big Bang, so whatever force animates us, whatever constitutes the true foundation of consciousness, proceeds from the Prime Mover. Miran, what do you think about this, Mother? Antenna. I don't believe in any kind of prime mover, but I thought you should read it because Eustachius is an intelligent person, and he came to this conclusion after a great deal of thought. It's important to respectfully consider points of view we don't agree with. Yeah, the prime mover is the idea that everything that happens has a cause, but you cannot pull this cause regressively to infinity. Like, everything that happens has a cause. This cause needs a cause that also needs a cause, and so you go on to infinity unless you have a prime mover, which a lot of people says is God, but could be some also some natural event or something. Yeah, you can choose speak with God. Just have some LSD, indeed. Oh, you know, scramble the circuits of your brain. Probably same effect. Modernity. Author unknown on modernity. From the book of annotated internet comments by Eustachius. Oh no. Oh no. No, no, please no. Okay. If modernity is so great, why is everyone so fundamentally disappointed with the world? Why do we sigh with pleasure at the sight of old houses, but feel nothing but depressed and alienated by skyscrapers? Why do we yearn for lush forests and wide plains, not narrow canyons between buildings? 5358F. We love all this technology so much. Why is our idea of happiness to get away from it? F just substitute an I from F. Could it be that progress is just a story we tell ourselves to justify why we allow ourselves to be dominated by inhumanity in order and other forms of living have something to offer? Dash dash dash. It seems that many of us share this desire to immerse ourselves in nature. Though we are ourselves entirely technological beings, we enjoy and value Earth's diverse and unpredictable biosphere. But does that mean that progress is just a narrative, and this ancient commenter suggests, or does it mean that technological progression and the love for the natural world are not in fact mutually exclusive? To load profile. And yet this person was left on his own somewhere in the wilderness. He would feel nothing but terror. The appreciation of nature is rooted in the experience of civilization, of safety. Athena. True, but he's still right. So much of what our ancestors created in their last years was alienating to the majority of people. Then the question isn't of modernity, but of control. I wonder. Failed to load profile. Fail to load profile, fail to load profile. I wonder if I go back to the terminals I can actually see the names updating as I get other characters. Hi, Byron.
Hey, 1K.
What if Athena left the island long ago?
Then at least we may be able to find out what happened in New Jerusalem, why she came here. But I don't think she left the island. I think she's still here, waiting for us to make the right choices.
I hope we're right. There is no rational reason to think so. What makes you think that? Maybe she has to be here, although she's still here. What if it's a hoax, someone faking her voice? I think Byron would know by her mannerisms and stuff. That said, they do use like voice packs and things. Well, what makes you think that?
It's hard to articulate. There just seems to be so much intent here. There has to be a reason for all this. And Athena is the only reason that makes sense.
Tell me a joke. Why do you believe that there should be more people?
I think every single human being is completely unique, and every instance of consciousness is a miracle. The more of us there are, the more alive the universe is. And the more we all interact with each other, the more complex the life of the universe becomes. So I believe that people are a fundamental good. I don't believe we're all flawless, but I think every one of us matters precisely because nothing else does.
Do you think the megastructure technology could be misused?
Could be, yes, of course. All technology has the potential to be misused, from fire and the wheel to whatever makes these particle clouds. But that doesn't mean it has to be.
Does your faith in humanity ever waver?
In the principle of it, no. It's not just that I believe humanity is fundamentally good, although I do. It's that I think sentience is the foundation of everything else. What's the point of stars and galaxies, of hills and forests, without someone to perceive them? But my faith that we can actually grow up, that we can break out of these loops and take control of our destiny, that's something I struggle with every single day.
Interesting. Yeah, if there's no one to like observe the beauty of the universe, why have a universe? Even though the universe has no reason to exist. I didn't articulate myself properly, but yeah, it all feels kind of pointless anyway. How did Mayor Hermanubis get elected?
Herman? Honestly, I think he makes people feel safe. The world beyond our walls is frightening. Human history is full of failures and disasters. It's easy to look at that and recoil. Herman offers a vision of the future that feels contained, manageable.
Is that so bad? It's a fantasy life, will always be strong. No, it's a fantasy, a return to golden age that never existed. But what do we sacrifice to gain their safety? Yeah, but that do we sacrifice to gain our safety?
Precisely. Our curiosity, our creativity, our ability to grow. Everything that made us who we are. To me, that's not worth it.
If technology isn't the problem, why did our ancestors destroy themselves? Do you believe in the existence of something supreme and transcends? Ooh, I noticed that Miranda called Athena her mother.
She did, yes.
Is that usual?
Some people in New Jerusalem choose to live in family units, although usually that involves marriage or equivalent ceremonies, not having children. You could say that Athena was a kind of mother to us, and Cornelius a kind of father, but it's not quite the same.
Right, if technology isn't the problem, why did our ancestors destroy themselves?
Because they refused to grow up. They refused to take control of their lives. They let bureaucrats and financiers determine their destiny, and those people could not think beyond themselves, beyond the tiny, insignificant moment they were trapped in. Their technology could have saved them, but what really failed them was their imagination.
Interesting point. Now, what are the implications of Melville's analysis on the particle clouds?
Athena was always trying to understand the reality underneath what we perceive, the objective truth. That's why she was capable of leaving the simulation. And even after she was free, she never stopped trying to understand more. I suspect her research took her another step closer to understanding the truth. And such steps always challenge our conception of the universe. But that's the wonderful thing about science. We can adapt our views to the evidence.
Indeed. Do you believe in the existence of something sublime or transcendent?
In the sense of an interventionist deity? No. I wouldn't rule out the possibility, but it's not something I personally believe. But I do think there is something genuinely sublime in this universe, and it's right in front of us. Consciousness. The fact that this sense of self is even possible, that an arrangement of matter can produce a self-aware mind? Think about it. It's a fundamental property of the universe, an unbreakable law that matter has the inherent capacity to become more than the sum of its parts. That is the definition of transcendence.
In that vision, then we are all transcendent beings already. And you know what? I don't quite disagree. He has a point. We are way more than the sum of our parts. That's an interesting point of view that I really enjoy that it was just put to words. Tell me a joke.
Okay. How many robots does it take to change a light bulb?
I don't know how many.
Replacing a light bulb is a waste of resources, and the founder would be outraged.
Okay. Shots fired. Yeah. Yeah, okay, that's hilarious.
Herman didn't seem to think so.
Thanks. That was totally worth it. Where am I going? That looks like another puzzle. Oh! Okay, that's another of Miranda's recordings, it seems.
If we believe that life is inherently valuable, If we think that other species are worth preserving, and we recognize that most of the universe is barren, then it follows that we have a duty not only to defend life, but to spread it. If life is the most valuable thing in the universe, then perhaps, in a sense, the cosmos itself is depending on us to do this. Like birds carrying seeds to uninhabited islands. Maybe that's our role in the galactic ecology.
Go to other planets and populate them? Yeah, that makes sense. You know, these robots could probably survive on Mars without much trouble. They just need to find a good power source. Second punchline, wow, yeah. The dust storms will be a pain, nevertheless. That's true. Two-body problem. But they could try to terraform Mars. What I'm gonna do to go. Where is the second body I was promised? There. Blue. Well, they have far less work to bother with than humans for sure. Indeed. It opens the red. Okay. Oh, I need to get blue to be there. And red to be there. Alright. Right, so I'm not gonna connect. Yeah. Of course, alternatively, I can just put it here. I'm having more trouble finding the position I should leave the bodies than actually trying to solve the puzzle. There we go. Nice. Private message. Okay. Okay, my name is Linux. I am an engineer in the city. It seems we share a mutual acquaintance. Doge thinks we could work well together. Yeah, what it is about? Yes, I was interested to meet you. I like to connect with people who put facts before fate, so I'll be direct. The powers that we prefer to keep our society in stasis. They'd rather you were the last of our kind and seek new ways for us to live. They'd rather avoid big questions than reveal answers they may not like. But I can't accept that it's wrong to use what we know to solve the problems before us. We couldn't be here without technological solutions. Learning, growth, mistakes. Those things are what we are. I agree. I know we both have hope for the future, and your expeditions beyond the city walls presents a rare opportunity, which leads me to my purpose in contacting you. But before you get to that, I know you've an inquiring mind. What would you like to know? Who are you? Where are you? Why are you? I just want to know what you want with me. Why are you? Yeah. Who, where, why? Human engineering things. So I kind of know who he is. Probably is in Jerusalem. He has the dam as his profile picture. He or she or they is better. Why are you? I do physics, not metaphysics, but I'll give it a go. I suppose in the beginning there was nothing, and nothing implies something, and the zeros and ones got progressively more complex until eventually you and I pop it out. Nice. Isn't the one you're talking about how the construction installed? Ah, the guy in the outskirts. Yeah, I don't remember the name. Well, where are you? That should knee deep in river water. Yeah, that's the guy. Pulling tin cans from overflow sluice 8. Our ancestors so loved their tin cans. Who are you? I'm the chief engineer of fluid dynamics. Our city runs on hydroelectric power. We'd better off building nuclear reactors, but I just run the dam. Our place of birth and source of life, so what do I know? And hey, maybe they're right. Maybe if we had more energy, we'd grow so fast we'd suffocate. I just rather test that hypothesis than spend an eternity fixing leaks. I just want to know what you wanted me. I think the islands you're exploring holds knowledge far in advance of our own. There will be a great pressure on your team to leave it hidden, but those secrets belong to us all. We all deserve to learn and grow. I just want to approach your work using the scientific outlook you've been programmed with. Ask questions, be open to answers with challenge your assumptions. And above all, if what you find has consequences for us all, you mustn't keep it to yourself. There's nothing new I can share you at this time. We already encounter advanced technologies. I know, Byron and I have been anticipating this opportunity for some time, and I'm certain you're going to find more. I wish in return I could share everything I know with you, but that time will come. For now, I need to ask that you keep our relationship between us. The dynamics in New Jerusalem are complex enough. So what do you think? Are you willing to work with me? I like you. Yeah, let's do this. This is getting interesting. Excellent. Well, usually there is a bit more of a ceremony when someone new joins the cause. Nothing fancy, just suitable branding with hydrogen peroxide, but that you'll have to wait until you're next in the city. In the meantime, welcome to Society Systemica. Wait, is this some kind of secret society? I'd say it's more a special, interesting working group. Nothing is more important to science than transparency, and at the same time we don't always have the luxury of ignoring social realities which sometimes demand discretion. Which is to say, I can't exactly refute your suggestion, but I'd certainly discourage it. Okay. Is there a secret handshake? Are there others? Are there rules? Thank you. Are there others? Other member of the Systemica? I know that at least Doge is in there. Or other groups like the Ors. To be fair, I can't tell you as much about Ether as I'd like, but reason would suggest that you and I are not unique to this world. Are there rules? You'd think so, but it largely depend on shared ideals. There may be no specific rule set, but I trust that we all know an error when we see one. Okay. Is there a secret handshake? Well, yes, now that you mention it, too, it's actually a randomly generated code phrase. 44 laughing lullabies. 44 laughing lullabies. Okay, thank you. Let's stay in touch. Alright. We're a part of a secret society now, people. Oh, that's the Sphinx over there. This place is massive. Nothing new to say, Alcatraz. Oh, and there is, I think, Prometheus. Wait, why aren't you showing in my thing? I'm going there. It should have at least a question mark. How massive it is makes that in physical kind of annoying.
Yep.
If you're there to know what to look for. Okay. My mother is asking for my help, so I'll be right back. I am back, but not for long. I want to see what that thing is, and I'll probably have to stop. Ah, it does show. It's Prometheus. Okay. Whoa. going on here. So yeah, I want to at least find a place where I can save. Or talk to Alcatraz.
Hello, 1K.
Hello. What do you think about Miranda's idea that it's our duty to spread life?
Our ancestors thought they could introduce new species to existing ecosystems, and it never turned out well.
I don't think that applies to places where there is no life, like other planets.
There's no life there now, but you can't see the future. You might be wiping out a whole ecosystem that hasn't even gotten started yet.
Or we could have been creating an ecosystem. Yeah, it saved. Nice. Alright. I am going to call it a day. I was kind of hoping to do one of these wings every stream, but there's also so much other stuff going on in the game that it's kind of difficult. So yeah, I'll be back with the Talos Principle next Wednesday at 8 PM Jump to the Stream. But for now, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm the Plane Shifter, and I am phasing out. Bye!